Hello, this is our international advertising group, and the brand we were supposed to analyze is IKEA. So we decided to turn our sights to IKEA in Japan and examine their market and communication skills.
First, we went ahead and looked at the environment and divided it up into 5 sections. The first environment portion we're going to look at is the demographics of Japan. So, with such a huge population at 126 million, from a bird's eye view, Japan's current market is primed for IKEA's entry. With a product that aims to serve the everyday family with simple setup, compact furniture, IKEA should thrive in larger markets where they can market their product broadly. But when you take a closer look, Japan's current population distribution seems to be pretty frightful for the furniture retailer's success. With over 22% of its population distribution being 65 and older, this percentage is only expected to grow. By the year 2060, projections show that the country's population is to drop from 126 million to around 88 million, and almost 40% of that will be in the 65 and older age group. In regard to IKEA, this looks to be not very favorable, considering its product is marketed towards modern style homes and younger families that would be able to assemble their own furniture. Next, we went ahead and looked at the economic environment. When you look at Japan's economic situation, however, it shows that it shows much more favorable results for IKEA's potential performance in the country. As we look at its strengths, we can see that Japan has climbed to be the world's second largest developed economy. According to Heritage.org, with an economic freedom score at 73.3 as a result of its recent improvements in labor, business, and trade freedom, Japan is riding above global averages. If we take a step back a few years, Japan saw its home furnishing sector grow to 3.9 trillion in sales back in 2003. Since then, IKEA has taken advantage of this industry growth and used the spike in 2003 to its advantage when it re-entered the Japanese market in 2006. We can also go over and look at the weaknesses side, though, and see that the government, Japan's government, plans to increase its sales tax to 10% by the end of 2015. Additionally, as I mentioned earlier, the typical Japanese consumer is very picky, so IKEA will have to overcome this and work in a market that finds it hard to accept a company that sells self-assembling furniture. We also looked at the geographic environment, and because Japanese people are more accustomed to smaller living, because it is an island, it has high population density, and their home layouts typically work in favor of IKEA's more modern furniture styles. They take advantage of their geographically influenced way of living by offering very convenient self-assembled furniture that works in favor of of Japan's geography.
Next, we looked at the political and legal environment of IKEA in Japan. So, in the mid 90s, Japan saw a large scale deregulation for large retail stores like IKEA, which led to less government oversight and created a favorable environment for foreign investments in Japan, which was good for IKEA. It opened up an opportunity for IKEA's reentry and held a regard for local customs and manners. Next, a Consumer Protection Act was passed, which outlined laws for materiality and deception, and these norms were similar to those in the U.S. Next, we looked at IKEA's culture. So, IKEA's first attempt at breaking into the Japanese market was unsuccessful for a couple of reasons. Number one, and what, probably the biggest thing, is they didn't realize the importance of hiring employees and managers who understood the Japanese culture. And so they attempted to sell their large European style furniture in a Japanese market of consumers with smaller homes and apartments that were in need of smaller furniture and appliances, as we mentioned earlier. Japanese consumers were also not a fan of IKEA's do-it-yourself model of assembling furniture. When IKEA returned to the Japanese market, they had corrected these issues. You see here two managers who know the Japanese culture very well expressing their approval of IKEA's attempts to better understand the Japanese consumer.
IKEA's brand is known worldwide for their simple and yet modern design, so they've without a doubt had great performance in the last year. IKEA Japan stepped up to the plate recently and has made IKEA a notable great place to work by giving part-time employees the same benefits that full-time ones have within the company. IKEA is all about equality for their employees, so these benefits include pay salary, benefits, and opportunities for all employed. IKEA also opened a full-size store in Sendai, Japan, which created many job opportunities for the city after an earthquake and tsunami hit the region. This will allow the economy in Sendai to proliferate by helping wage earners get back on their feet. IKEA's market in Japan has a variety of strengths that accompany the popular international brand image, but that doesn't leave it without a few shortcomings. IKEA has such a great familiarity in its category market that when people mention furniture, the first thing they often think of is IKEA itself, which only strengthens the brand's market and market share. IKEA also maintains a wide range of innovative products at affordable prices alongside a huge inventory system that keeps customers satisfied all under the same roof. Altogether, these traits give IKEA a powerful international brand image that is viewed with positivity and a notability for consistency in product quality and range. IKEA is also known for the high prioritization of corporate social responsibility within the company and achieve their goals through a program called Planet People and Planet Positive, which explains their underlying roots for their efforts towards a more socially conscious and environmentally friendly consumer ecosystem. And like all companies, IKEA is not perfect and suffers from some major corporate flaws. The Japanese or Asian cultures overall are not very much into do-yourself or DIY projects and prefer to have products that are already finished and assembled at the point of purchase. This could drive away potential customers in Japan who don't want to put the time to assemble their purchased products. As many of us know, IKEA's products, though affordable and attractive, are not made with the best quality parts that will last a lifetime and will probably need to be replaced after a period of use. Customers who prefer to spend more or sturdier high-quality items might be lost to other competitors. IKEA Japan does not offer online purchasing, so you can only look for items and see if they're available and physically in store. The delivery system is also poorly set up and ineffective due to geographical limitations since Japan is an island. Lastly, one of IKEA's major drawbacks is in their store setup, which is a one-way track intended to sway customers to buy more. Although it's a great form of entertainment and inspiration for your home, the customers that only need to buy certain products don't have the time to go through the entire store to find one thing they need, making the trip to IKEA less attractive.
All right, so taking a look at the marketing communication aspect of IKEA in Japan, we found that IKEA uses a regional local approach. This means that they use a standardized decision process with local adaptation for their advertising across the world. So we found that McCann, New York is the global lead on the creative account for IKEA, whereas different agencies specific to different countries handle the local adaptations. The one that we were most concerned with was TBWA Hakuhodo, who manages IKEA brand in Japan. So taking a look at the target market for IKEA, we found that their primary target market is the young adult generation. And this generation has been price conscious for most of their lives because they lived through a recession that began in the 90s and lasted into the 2000s. And these people are kids of baby boomers who are starting households of their own, so they're young adults with growing families at the moment. And these people demand high quality and interesting integrations of their products and of their ads. And they would rather have control over their interior design than hire a professional to do all of their homemaking needs. And as we mentioned earlier, Japan will be seeing a large growth in the older population in the coming years. And because of that, IKEA has been able to focus and have a secondary target in the form of the baby boomers who are getting older. And they're approaching retirement, but they have high disposable incomes and time that they can spend frequenting IKEA. Looking at the positioning and communication themes, we found that IKEA positions itself as a provider of stylish and attractive furniture in Japan. And this is perfect, as we said, for the small space living that is necessitated by the geography of the country. And they position themselves as a mixture between Swedish and Japanese design principles. They merge clean and simple, and both Japan and Sweden love the use of wood and natural materials in their products. And so these craft standards are met, but IKEA is still able to maintain the low price that they are known for. And so these positions are communicated through the idea of making an ideal home, and all of IKEA's communications in Japan promote comfort in tight spaces, and they align these Japanese designs with the Swedish principles, like I said. And finally, looking at the media for the marketing communication, they use out of home TV commercials and social media. Out of home, as we will see in a little bit, uses bus wraps, some stairwell activations coming out of train stations. The IKEA took over a couple different trains and refurnished their interiors using IKEA furniture. And they also had a museum set up that attracted passersby. TV commercials focused on the clean and simple room designs that could be made through IKEA products, and emphasized the neatness and the small space living through a couple bento box and suitcase advertisements. So please go ahead and click on those links and check those out, because we thought they were pretty neat and were really representative of the marketing communication media that IKEA has been able to use in Japan. And finally, IKEA has used social media, both in Facebook and Twitter, to reach the younger demographic and really keep as a top of mind brand in their daily lives.
Perfect. Now let's examine 2 case studies of IKEA advertising in the works. Initially, with the new opening of the IKEA outlet near Tokyo's Tachikawa Station, the company decided, as a means of advertising and good publicity, they would convert the local Tama monorail line into a one-of-a-kind party train, as you see in the pictures above. Chosen by random at a raffle drawing, lucky customers were escorted onto the train by IKEA employees who served appetizers and drinks and played games and fun activities with them also. The website Design Taxi explained on April 9th, 2014, while the event may have only lasted 2 days, it inspired men and women in Japan to take a second look at IKEA's potential in this new marketplace. Lastly, IKEA created buzz during their grand opening in Japan by furnishing their own museum. Interesting, I know. To inspire Japanese citizens to think big when going small in regards to living space, IKEA created a museum based off the traditional 4.5 tatami or mat rooms used throughout the country in many homes. The museum was placed in the heart of Tokyo and refurbished over 14 times with different set pieces and furnishings. From child-friendly to adult contemporary, this unique space allowed young couples and budding families to see the potential IKEA was promising. Opening week proved successful for the company, as the first 5 weeks brought over 1 million customers to the store. Thank you so much for listening. Have a good day.